We can tell how bad the job market is.
I don't know how education is valued.
People being like, should I go there? Or, is it worth it? Should I come here to study? Am I going to get a job after? What's going to life be like after I study?
Please research the country you're going to.
Yeah.
Please research what jobs are there already. Over here, you are highly paid for the tradie jobs.
Yeah.
If a plumber, carpenter, electrician, fire services guy, highly paid. If you're ready to do that, choose your course accordingly.
Being an international student, giving my perspective, it's not impossible to get an infield job, but it is super, super, super difficult.
The job market is tough currently. There's a rental crisis also.
AI is for the good, but when it reduces jobs, it kind of is bad.
A lot of people are okay to be underpaid because it's higher than that Indian salary. One thing that happens a lot in Australia is fake listings. Welcome to Australia Unfiltered. Join us as we explore the highs, lows, and everything in between of living in Australia. Every episode brings us a candid conversation and real-life insights from people in Australia. And this series is powered by Anchor Cookie Co. And we would love to extend our special thanks to the Aussies group for their amazing podcast space. And okay, jumping right into it, we will be talking about the Australian job market. I've got Sara and Kush with me. Hey guys, how have you been?
Amazing.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Whatever she said.
Anyway.
It's nice not to be the host today.
Yeah. Hot seat. for
Yeah,
you.
hot seat.
Amazing. Okay. Before I jump right into it, give me a bit of a brief, very short, like, what's your background? What did you do?
Yeah, for sure. You can go.
Can I? Thank you. Well, I'm Kushagra. I did my bachelor's back in Mumbai in architecture. Over here in Melbourne, I did my master's in architecture from University of Melbourne. Then I have been working with a construction company which is helping current Victoria, which is building the tram stations stations currently. And the tunnel project.
Yes.
So the infrastructure.
The infrastructure project.
Yeah, you're helping the Victorian government.
I'm helping the Victoria government grow the infrastructure of the city.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sara. I came as an international student to Australia back in 2019. I did my master's in management marketing from also University of Melbourne. And since then, I have worked in 3 different jobs and on the client side in marketing. And now I am the founder of the Amazing Humans of Australia.
Woohoo. Wow,
I'm also part of Humans Australia.
Oh.
All of us are part of Humans of Australia.
Humans of Australia. Wow, well, that says quite a bit about how your job market is going. So I guess we'll get right into it. If you did watch our last episode, we did mention that everything we do, but also I work in cybersecurity, and that's where my formal education is as well. When I first came here, there was a big demand, there was like the government is hiring, we just got hacked, we need people. And now that I'm here, I face so many biases, it's like you need to have this, you need to be recommended, blah, blah, blah. So we'll get into that. But you tell me, how have your job markets been? How were they previously and how do they compare to right now?
Are you going to go first?
So just on this, the job market is always bad. Like, let's say when I graduated and I first found the job, I was the very few lucky ones who had a job before graduating.
Mm-hmm.
And that was mainly because I started looking for jobs 1 year before graduating.
Oh my God.
That was very stupid of me. But it turned out for the best. And I did a lot of internships, unpaid mostly, which helped me build connections. And my goal was to get a job before I graduated. So I was the one who got a job before graduating. But the job market is horrible because I know so many of my friends, they took 6 months or even more time to get a job, even after doing a master's.
So would you say if you're in a business or specifically marketing field, you have to be more proactive than other degrees?
I think you have to be proactive in every degree.
Yeah.
I can't say for other degrees, but I believe you need to be proactive because it's Australia. You are a new person.
Mm-hmm.
People will 100% ask for local experience, which you will not have.
Yeah.
So you need to be proactive, make those connections. And yeah.
And you?
For me, it's the same thing. The job market has always been
No, we're keeping it.
We are not keeping it.
I wanted to laugh, but I was like, shit.
You both are.
We both noticed it and she lost it and I lost it.
I was trying not to look at you, but it's fine. It's fine.
Continue,
The job mock.
Continue. Excuse us.
The job market.
Yes.
So it has been the same thing as what Sara said. The job market has been bad over here because when we started, actually, that was a COVID time.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah.
it was one of the worst job markets
Yeah.
to get into.
Yep.
No one was getting jobs, and the competition was very high.
Which was the same for international, but also local people. They were also not getting jobs.
Yes, for everyone, because there was so much of competition. The people who had completed the course before, or who got redundant, they were looking for jobs.
Yep.
And so there were people who just came in, and they were also looking for jobs. And we just got out of our universities, and we were also looking for our jobs. So it was a very bad market. Plus, the businesses were shutting down then.
Yeah.
Because of COVID again. So specifically for me, there were only few projects which were going on, which were infrastructure projects. The architecture projects, people were not getting anything. And so they were not hiring. And then I did what I had to do to get the job. That's another story. And I feel coming back to today, it's a similar thing because again, the government kind of has pulled some funds from the major infrastructure projects.
Okay.
And then people are getting redundant due to that. The competition is rising, and there are few jobs again in my industry.
Right.
I feel it's also important for you to mention that, the job market is so tough. Like Kush, he studied architecture, which is undergrad and master's for 7 years in total.
Yeah.
7 years of his life. And that's a lot. And he wasn't getting a job.
Yeah.
After that, imagine
There's
studying
so much formal education.
Exactly. After so much education, I also feel like architecture, which is a specialized field, he wasn't getting a job. And for 6 months, he did not get a job. It was such a difficult market.
It was a tough time for sure. But then that time was COVID. Currently, that time no one was getting jobs. It was very hard to get a good job. Otherwise, you're getting underpaid. I did get few jobs which weren't they paying me or...
They were underpaying like... You know how much they were paying? 50,000.
Oh my gosh. Super included.
50,000, yes. And plus the freelance job or the job that I was doing, that was paying me $10 per hour.
My God.
So,
which is not much actually. And I was giving like a lot of my time to that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
That is hard. And what he did is also... Okay, we won't talk
We'll talk about it.
Topic for another day.
Yeah,
stay tuned.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we talk a lot about formal education. And I would say in all of our fields, maybe not in a business-oriented field, but where you need so much experience, but maybe in ours where technical skills have to be learned, formal education has so much importance given to it. But we actually, as the team here, we get a lot of questions, especially Sara, you get a lot of questions for people being like, should I go there? Or, is it worth it? Should I come here to study? Am I going to get a job after? What's going to life be like after I study? What is your response to that? Like, what would you say to people who want to study here with that mindset?
Yeah. I think, I'll tell you my mindset when I came here. I thought, everyone finds a job after education and I'm doing a master's.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I will get a job.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize till I got in the job market. So my experience is because I switched 3 jobs. So I know how difficult it is. It's like I've got local experience and I was trying to switch after a full-time job. It's not easy. It is so difficult, like whatever you do. And I don't know how education is valued. I feel education is not valued. And I said it last time as well. A lot of people come to Australia via education because it's a ticket to come to Australia.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean your life is going to be sorted, that you had an education here. People are going to die because you did a master's here, so they're going to die to hire you. No. It's so difficult.
We say in Australia that experience is king. And so a lot of the times, especially I've noticed in my field as well, you don't have a master's. 90% of the people have like an MBA to get into upper management.
Yeah.
A master's is not important. It's very popular amongst international students, not amongst local Australians.
Yeah. Yeah. And as I said, I feel masters is a waste of money.
Yeah. Anyways, your response?
My response to the last question, masters, I do not know if it is waste of money or not. If you want to do it, do it. Maybe in your field it might be. But yes, in my current job where I'm working, I'm the highest qualified person.
Oh, right. Yep.
Like who has masters, 7 years of education, top grades, everything. But I'm not. I'm not the on the topmost position. I'm on the
Right.
lowest
Of
position
course. Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
because they have more
Of
experience.
course. Of course.
So over here, they do count how much experience do you have locally.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they would consider international experience only if the projects were global.
Yep.
But as soon as you come to Australia, you need to have local experience.
Yep.
And going back to the previous statement that you made about the education as ticket to Australia, I would say do not to do that because education is just education. And if you're thinking like how much ever people have asked me these questions like for construction and management and project management and even masters in architecture, is it worth it? Is it worth it doing this course?
Mm.
Shall we come there? So I'm like, for education, yes, it is worth it because then the university is providing you the education for that particular course, and you are given 2 years to prove yourself and get some experience.
And I also want to add in that most Australian universities are very high ranked usually.
Yes.
So you're getting good education if that's what you're here for.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, is it worth it doing masters in Australia? I would say no.
I would say no again because if you're looking just to come to Australia and live over here, no.
Yeah, of course, of course. We can tell how bad the job market is, you know? We're all sitting here, yeah.
Yeah.
But where was I? Sorry. What was I saying?
Job market and education and universities.
Yeah, people come over here with education, like they want to stay back.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So, if you're good in your skill, if you make those connections, you will get a job, and through your skills only you will, find your pathway. And even if you're coming for education, if you're highly qualified, you can go back to your own countries as well and help their economy, help your country's economy.
Yep.
So I feel whoever's coming to or going to any of the countries or coming to Australia, please have that in mind that sometimes you do not know what is happening with the economy and your visa status would change according to the economy. So
Yeah.
And also the economy changes here so rapidly.
So quickly,
Like-
rise and fall.
Exactly. When we came here, the economy was different. Then when we graduated, the economy was different. A year after that, it was different. And now it's completely different. And like that, the visa also changes. Also, Kushal said this point that, if you have global experience, it might help. Oh my God. I have spoken to so many people. It maybe some fields, yes, it might help. But I know so many people who worked in like globally renowned companies who've come here with 15 to 16 years of work ex. But when they came here, they weren't getting jobs.
They weren't.
I recently spoke to someone, 15 years of work ex, and then she came here. She had to start from the lowest level of her job after 15 years of work. And she worked with global companies. She's been like a team leader and all of those things. So it is very difficult. Though that person in 1 year reached a directorial position.
Of course, because she's got all those skills.
She's got all those skills. But sometimes you might have to compromise and start from like the basic level.
I knew this senior analyst, and this is one of the big four. And back in her own home country, she was the CISO of another world-renowned tech company. So she came from a very famous tech company as a CISO, but in Australia, she was a senior analyst. Can you believe it?
That's it?
Yeah. It's insane. Imagine like that fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, same thing. When you have the skills and experience, you do climb pretty quickly as well. I get it. But you worked 20 years, not to go back to senior analyst,
Exactly.
That's hard. But what would you say is your response to those who come here, ticket to education here, to live in Australia, but they end up doing something very high skilled, right? They do masters in a very top skill, masters of networking, masters of aerospace engineering. And then we find the same people after a certain status or TR, whatever completion, you find them doing jobs like Uber driving full time, or you find them working at a cafe full time.
Yeah.
Okay, while again, I think we discussed this previously also in the education podcast. Please research the country you're going to.
Yeah.
Please research what jobs are there already. Please research about your course. Please research everything. Because over here, you are highly paid for what do you say, for the jobs which are not very highly paid back in India.
Tradies.
The tradie jobs.
Yes.
If you're a plumber,
Skilled labor jobs.
Skilled labor jobs.
Skilled labor jobs. So plumber, carpenter, electrician, fire services guy, highly
Roofing,
paid.
tiling, gardening.
Yeah.
Labor, like,
Just
skilled
skilled
labor
labor,
and
yeah.
hard labor.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, if you're ready to do that, so choose your course accordingly, and then you will get the jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't waste your time and money.
Yeah,
don't.
money. It's go into vocational training. If you just want to come in Australia and do
A
that.
question. I don't know if can international people come here and do vocational training?
Yes.
I think it depends. If it's something for carpentry, then yes. If it's early childhood where you need, and then you just get a diploma and you start working, yes. Nursing, yes. But if you come here for just like business and then you're also doing skilled labor, it's a mismatch.
So international students, like international people, can come here and start with vocational training?
Yes, but there's a lot of restrictions to it. You know, they'll be like, where are you going? What are you doing? There's restrictions with what type of skilled labor you're going for. Not everybody can come here and become an electrician and manage an electrician firm or whatever it is. So yeah, it's restricted.
Well, if you have a passion about like hairdressing, then yes, maybe you might change your pathway.
Of course, yeah.
That is a different thing. But if you come over here, do your masters and in like architecture, like myself, and then suddenly start door dashing, that is not. It's okay because you have to survive.
It's okay. It's okay to earn money as a part-time job, but like doing this full-time after graduation just kind of seems like waste of time, money, effort, skills, and it's like I did so much. And for what?
Exactly. It's understandable that you do your full-time job and then that is an extra in case you need extra money. Yeah, totally. That's respectable.
A lot of Australians do it.
Yeah.
Freelancing.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. Yeah.
Exactly. And we're not saying, I'm so sure even you guys, I'm saying for why I'm saying we're not saying these jobs are small or big. Yeah. Every job is good and they're amazing and they pay well. But the point is, you left your home country to come here, have an education, as you mentioned, in networking or IT. Even today, my Uber guy, I asked him what he did, what he came here to study. He did Masters of Networking.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I don't even know what all these things are. And he's driving an Uber driver.
It's very high skill. Like coming from Bachelors of Networking and Cybersecurity, doing a Master's, it's unthinkable for me even. So technical. And the fact that, and Indians are smart. If you have work experience after bachelor's back in your home country, you've probably done a lot more. And it doesn't just have to be India. It's like anywhere Asia. Like if you worked in Asia, you know what the lifestyle is like. And coming from such high experience and skill, you're coming here and you're actually underpaid. I would argue that your life back home, how much ever you may hate it or not, you're going to get a lot more worth for your skills, experience, studying in a Western foreign country, having those extra skills on your resume, or you have a broad experience.
Yeah, true, for sure. Because you've done networking, is the networking, like the networking or cybersecurity and IT market really bad? My thought is, why was he driving an Uber? Is it bad?
The thing is, I will say it's hard for people, who don't have connections. It's really hard. Grad applications are the worst. And it's hard to get into it. And I know sometimes the government is saying, oh, we're hiring, we need people in IT, but who are they really hiring? They're not going to hire international students with experience. The job market is really bad. They're going to hire through connections, etc. But now that we're on the topic of part-time jobs, I want to ask, within our own fields, what do professional part-time jobs look like? For me, there's a lot of cadetships. So they give you study support. You do it. I've been a part of a huge program. There's ups and downs to it. And I would argue that in IT and tech, it's not hard to find a part-time job that will help support your education. How is it with you guys?
You mean you got an infield job while you were studying as well?
Yes, correct.
Oh, that's amazing. And that's interesting. Then IT, that is possible.
Yep.
I have a lot of friends in IT. I've never heard them say that.
You do have to, because I'm domestic, right? I came on a PR. That's the biggest difference. You have to be domestic because remember, a lot of companies do it for tax break purposes, whatever, but they also pay you study support if it's like a continuous role. Or there's like the summer intern programs at every Big Four.
Yes. But it's so difficult to get in those summer intern programs.
Especially as international. Local is you will get in one way or the other. So many companies.
Is it?
They'll take in locals.
They have cadet programs. Like even the place I'm working at, they had a cadet program, but we cannot actually, like people, international students couldn't apply for it also.
Oh, I don't know
That
about
sucks.
that.
Yeah, I know.
That sucks. But being an international student, giving my perspective in the marketing field or management field, it's not impossible to get an in-field job, but it is super, super, super difficult. So when I was in uni, I did not want to do any job that was not in my field. So I've only worked in my field, but it is super difficult. It's not impossible. What I did is I literally just Googled marketing agencies near me. I cold called, I cold emailed every single, I literally called them, the receptionist to pick up, and I was like, hey, are you guys hiring? Are you looking for a marketing intern? Are you looking someone for help? That's how I got my job. But it is, you have to face a lot of rejections. It's not easy.
Yeah.
People don't pick up. People don't.
I think the job scenario is similar everywhere. Like for me, again, I'm coming back to architecture and construction. When I was applying back in my home country, which is India, I got a similar response. People were not hiring. So not because I was not skilled. I think the scenario, the job market in construction is like that. They want very highly skilled people and they do not want to pay that much.
I was gonna say I've noticed that a lot amongst like my friends, like, or even our common friends, you would say. But yeah, they want people with the same education as you, 7 years plus, master's, skills, whatever, but they pay you. Your salary package is just embarrassing. It's like what a beginner, graduate, undergrad would get paid. You're getting paid as a master's kid.
Oh my God, true. But going back to the part-time thing, I think most students, what they do is they end up working in hospitality or retail as students are doing Uber. I would say
gas stations, cafes.
Gas stations, cafes. I would say it's great as you need to pay your bills, you need to pay a lot of things, and you should do it. But also try to push for yourself, and you can get it, but you need to network hard. LinkedIn, keep on connecting with people.
But I was gonna draw that parallel, Sara, because you, I would say, are very, very proactive as a person, and you're very outgoing and extroverted as a person. A lot of international students have that, like they don't do it outside of their comfort zone. And anyways, their comfort zone is like exponentially, decreased because they're somewhere new, foreign. So I will say that, or at least from what I've heard your testimony, I can say that in a business management marketing field, you have to be very out there. You can't work without connections in this country, anywhere. It's just like you need that same proactiveness like you've got.
Yes,
right?
For sure. I agree. But also another thing in part-time, you can do teaching if you're a professional field. That's what Kush did.
Like freelancing,
You're freelancing or teaching. So I still teach software that I learned in my universities or that I learned by myself to create drawings, to create 3D visualizations. So you can do many things with just your skills as well.
Yeah, of course. Which is why we say when you come and study here for a skill set, maybe use that skill set to then enhance. And would you say your freelancing and all of that experience in your daily work life or even interviewing or talking to people, did that really give you a good boost? Like, oh, he does all of this.
I think so. Yes, it does give me a boost when people know that if I can handle 50 students or one student who is 50 years old. And I can handle an 11-year-old, I can handle a 50-year-old. They know I'm good in coordination, I'm good in communication, and I can teach them, which means I'm good at what I do.
Of course. And that's, I think, is just transactional too. And I'm going to skip topics here to after university employment, because a lot of the times from an undergrad perspective, when you're in a grad program and you go in, they're not looking for experience. Like you walk in and they're like, you don't have to know anything from university. Everybody has a different degree. Someone's in cybersecurity, someone's in data analysis, right? And analytics, whatever. And they come up to you and they're like, it's okay, we'll teach you from scratch. We just need you to be communicational. We need you to have good skills, good with tech, blah, blah, blah. which sucks because, you came here to study and they're like, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. We'll teach you ways of life in Australia. So.
And also to add on that is each company that you go to work in, they will teach you their way.
Yeah.
They will teach their own way. They'll at least spend 1 month on it. So that's a good part about Australia, 100%. But if you, for example, I know a few friends of mine who are like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. I know this software, I know that software. They don't know shit. But when they get to the job, they're like, anyway, they're going to teach you. You can learn on the job.
That's not true for my
sure.
Of course,
field.
yeah. Different field, yeah.
For me, you need to have like a construction architecture. You need to have those skill sets. You need to know a few software that you can say because that's what they're hiring you for.
Of course, yeah.
Because the people who are marketing over there are different.
Yeah,
They need drafters, they need designers.
true.
So yeah.
And would you say like your university degree has really, really helped you now get boosted up your skill set and to get that job? Because I would say in my field, yes, experience is king. And also like if I work with a technology, it's going to be different at some other company.
True.
So at that point, they don't really care about that. But it sounds like in architecture, they really do care about certain skills more
Yes,
than...
they do.
Okay.
So if I can give an example, Revit is a software that everyone uses.
Yeah.
And just imagine if you do not know that software. So if you're getting into the market and saying, I do not know this software, so at least you need to know the basics, this particular thing.
So you would say architecture has more industry standards set than other industries?
I think design field itself or construction field itself would have the set, what do you say?
Industry standards.
Industry standards, yeah. They would have this
expectations, set
expectations. At least this much a person should know. Then they teach you their ways as for you, like it might be HubSpot.
Yeah, different softwares. Yeah, different softwares. For marketing, I would say it is different. Like I feel it's connections, networking, luck is how you get a job here. I'm not even kidding. That is how you get a job here because everyone that imagined that they're going to be in something, everyone just worked so hard after uni. It was not easy. It was such a difficult job market. I would say, and it's always going to be difficult. Of course. I believe everywhere, wherever you stay.
Everyone's going to struggle. Everyone's going to go through the initial job struggle.
Yeah.
Because of the country as a whole, yeah.
But Australia, I would say it's why it's more difficult is because if you're an international student, it's not your home country. It's not your home ground. You will not have connections. Either you be proactive and build connections, and two, you don't have local experience. So that is a big, major drawback.
Of course, yeah. And it's like a repetitive theme, Every time we circle back, we're saying the same things. Local experience, need to have this, you need to... Yeah. Anyways, I do want to hear from you guys, though. We are three very different but specific fields. What is it like if you're doing aeronautical engineering? Like, what is it like in that field? We want to hear your perspective. We want to know what if you're from a generic business administration field? Like, how does that get specific? So we want to know and help out our community so other people can learn. So yeah, drop a comment or reach out to us. Let us know what your experience is like, international or local. We would love to hear and highlight that.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. That's a lot about university and education ties to university.
I want to say one thing. In architecture or design field, you need build connections and build your skills.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I would say in my field, connections is everything. It's gonna get you in and out, especially after undergrad when Australia has zero expectations from an undergrad.
Is it?
Yeah, they don't expect you to know shit because they know that every company you go into, they will train you.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say, we don't focus on skills that much. We just pass your courses. That's it.
Maybe undergrad would be like that for architecture also.
Okay.
But after masters, they require certain levels.
Of course, yeah. Some level of professionalism. Yeah. Anyways, okay. One thing we do in Australia as a whole, not even just Melbourne where we're located, even in other cities, I've just noticed, and coming from the US, it's not very common, but people travel centrally to one location. Now in the US, your office would be in different cities around your state. So people are traveling 40 minutes out here, there. But in Australia, all of these offices have like a hub spot. And
Yeah.
it's like a building competition, and there's like multiple companies in one big building.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then they're fighting over whose logo goes at the top, the Westpac logo. And so, yeah, you know what? I want to know what is it like for you guys, because it's crazy. Like, fuck. Instead of like coming from one place, everyone's traveling like 2 hours to
Yeah.
go to the city, work and come back, which is a bit bizarre to me.
Yeah.
I think it's the pricing of
Okay.
where you're staying.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Location.
Again, if job market is tough currently, there's a rental crisis also. There are many things happening currently in Australia. So I think that's why people are going further away. Plus, remote working has also come in. So sometimes people are just traveling for 2 days.
Like hybrid work
hybrid,
modes, yes.
hybrid workflow. So
Yeah.
people are just traveling 2 or 3 days, not all the days. So my boss currently, he just comes 3 days a week, but he comes at like 7:30 a.m. in the morning after traveling for 1.5 hours. So I'm just guessing he wakes up super early and then he leaves early. So that's how you have to manage.
Yeah.
If you want to manage money and family time.
Right. And what is it? Because I come from a very tech, like a skill-based field where a lot of it just happens on your computer. I don't need anything else except just my little machine.
Yeah.
What is it like in marketing or even like other fields where you need something more than just a computer? Mine doesn't even have to have so much power or whatever.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, wow. You could work from anywhere in the world.
Yes, of course. Yeah. We have that flexible option.
Oh, that's really nice. For marketing, because again, marketing is a people's job, is what I said. It's creating that connection. And plus, you're marketing a company, so you need to understand the company, you need to go on field. So I believe a hybrid is the best way, because going every day to the office is too much. But I can't believe I'm saying this, because before COVID, there was never a thing like this. But I think hybrid is the best way to go for it, where you do maintain the connection with the company, but you also have time to work from your home. Because whenever I used to go to office, I used to not get any work done. Only when I'm at home. Because when you're in the office, you're like, oh, I need to meet with this person. I need to create that. I need to have a meeting with this person. So it depends field to field, I would say. But it is important to go to the office.
Yeah.
That is what the culture, I believe so.
Of course, yeah.
Again, coming back to architecture, you have to have a powerful system.
Yeah.
And you have to do site visits as well.
Oh, true. Yes, of course.
So
yeah,
see
you
if
do.
everything is going well, or to understand if you're a graduate, to understand what's happening.
If you're like a manager for the
Yeah.
project,
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah.
So it needs to be remote again, like whenever. It should be remote only, so that you have the flexibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that we're transitioning in that way. And actually, from that hybrid at home, work from home, whatever, there's a big element of technology and how far we've come with it, right? Like Zoom stock prices have gone insanely above after COVID. But also the introduction of AI and people, because of Zoom being able to connect globally a lot more and sourcing out work globally a lot more. So for example, in our field, it's like a fun joke we keep saying to all the business kids, we're like, AI will take your job. Like you won't have a job in a few years. And while it's true, I have seen firsthand the elimination of a lot of like, make a schedule, like we'll make you a schedule. Not even have to pay like pro chat GPT, like subscription. It'll make you, draft this email, draft it, minus 10 seconds, draft it. And so, it's hard, but what is it like in you guys' fields are they tech-based? Are they not tech-based? And do you think there are elements that will erase certain jobs because of how advanced, not even AI, but machine learning and technology is getting?
I think in marketing, yes. Yes, but no. Yes, because it reduces the time and effort that it used to take. But no, because a human is required to monitor all of those things. But saying that as well, where 2 people were required for like that marketing job, now 1 person can do that job. And they realize, okay, I'll pay $12 for ChatGPT Pro or whatever other AI pros will cost them another $100 a month at max, which is way cheaper than hiring another person.
Yeah.
This reduces the people that they're looking for, reduces, what am I trying to find the word? jobs in the market, reduces the jobs in the market.
Which is hard because right now every market is struggling with jobs.
Exactly.
I think that is one of the reasons AI itself, firstly, the funding or whatever, and then the AI. Because there are several jobs, be it in design field as well. I know a few firms who are using AI as their tool to, respond to the clients. Like you have AI chatbots everywhere.
Yeah.
So firstly, you had like call centers. Currently, Uber, you cannot even call Uber these days. Everything happens on the app. So that is one major thing that has come up. So, and I know few architectural firms who are winning competitions through AI generated images. They mention it.
Okay.
It is mentioned that it is AI generated, and they it's about how you're putting your prompts.
Yeah.
So you would need the designer to put the prompts.
Of course, yeah.
But you do not need, like for competitions currently, you do not need people to render out or to make those sheets or those drawings for you, because the visualizations can be achieved. Not exactly what you want, but you can get similar results.
Yeah.
And I also want to say with AI, there's more consistency and less human error. There's no like, oh, sorry, I was late. Sorry, I was stuck in traffic.
But with that again, things need a human touch. Like at least for marketing, I don't know about tech or architect, as you mentioned as well, even in architecture, the prompts a human needs to put, the prompts even for tech, a human needs to put. There won't be human errors, but there can be robotic AI errors where it does not calculate the human does not calculate the values.
Let's say if we add AI captions into this, it messes up our words. It doesn't understand what we're saying, right? So we need a human to review and correct it.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. It was me.
Or you, anyone, like just generally.
But we did, and also I actually want to highlight, because how specific and advanced AI is getting in security is that we have, let's say we'll have a AI system that detects events. So it'll tell us, oh, like this, somebody's logging in from Russia, like take a look at this, right? But now we have AI that will look at the criticality of the event and then decide whether it should alert a human or not. So it gets more and more advanced. So humans don't have to look at every single alert. There's another AI to filter it.
That reduces jobs, right?
It reduces jobs because now you don't need somebody 5 hours a day going through, like what happened and where did it happen.
AI is for the good, but when it reduces jobs, it kind of is bad.
When you start using it as tools, that means obviously the jobs are getting down, but then the senior positions are opening.
Of course, yes.
Yes, lower, like not lower, like the other jobs, like graduate roles might be less.
Yeah, but like product development, product management, that's
including. But on that, how does someone who's come here, who's studying here, who's come here to study, the first job that they'll get is not of a senior product manager or senior manager.
Yeah.
How do they enter the market? And it's so difficult to enter the market.
It's a really big issue because I remember I worked in 2 Big 4 companies, and now, I was looking at the graduate cohorts. One of them I wasn't a part of because they didn't choose me, whatever. Suck it. But we actually looked at because my friends, I'm still very good friends with them, and they are now in that graduate cohort. And we were looking at the size of grads coming in, and it's like cut in half.
Is it?
Yeah, they're cutting down because you don't need somebody to do the busy work. You have a tool to do it for you. You don't need somebody, sort this in order, and a human will take 5 hours to sort like your accounting papers in order. Online, if it's all scanned, it will sort it. It's smart enough to understand dates, highlight it, and then so it's reducing those entry-level jobs, which is a job market issue in Australia, which is why you should do more research before coming here, more than at least we would have done back in our day, because now it's more.
It's getting worse with time is what I feel.
Just again come back to AI. Please start using AI as tool. As a tool.
Not something you rely on.
Yeah, not something you can rely on as well, if it is still if it's limited as a tool again.
Okay.
Like a calculator. Calculator is also I think first versions of AI.
Yeah, it's a machine.
Smart. I don't think of it that way.
The computers, and people were always arguing about these tools, like how good they are reducing our jobs, be it machines and everything. Sadly, we all thought like robots and AI would take over the tradie jobs, maybe the more hard, where you require more strength, but it came down to intellectual jobs.
Yeah, which is crazy.
times have changed like crazy.
Like
yeah.
intellectual jobs getting taken over, and Australia is in need of tradies.
Yeah.
Like we need people to come and work here.
And the thing is, tradies get permanent residency also quicker.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then you get paid because in Australia you have labor laws. So after 5 p.m. you get, or 7 p.m., whatever, you get paid more. Overnight you get paid more. On weekends you get paid more. Penalty rates apply. Public holiday rates apply. Oh my God.
And I know people in tradies like $90 an hour, $80, $120 an hour.
Yeah.
It's shocking. I would never, it would take me years to reach $120.
Yes.
Start doing those jobs again because it's lucrative and people like to get more money. We like to get more money. So, but then do not lose your focus.
Of course. Look at your overtime growth. Great if you're, a tradie and you do it as a part-time job and now, but let's say you do go through an injury or even just like, it's not a job you can keep while you're 70, work from home. You can't do that.
Yeah. And plus a friend of ours used to work as a tradie or did the tradie course. It is super difficult.
Oh my God.
It's crazy difficult. Like it kills you. Your back is hurting. You have to carry heavy weights and you have to be in the sun open. Like
you got sunburns.
Oh my God, skin cancer rates probably going up.
Australia, skin cancer.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Okay.
Take care of that.
Yeah, beware then. You should know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
That's your research.
It sounds like fun and it sounds like, PR and everything, but it is super difficult. It is worse. It's not like, today you do the course, 6 months you'll get a job. Also, getting a job in that market is also not easy.
Yeah.
You'll get a permanent residency for sure, but getting a job in that market is going to be equally difficult. Once you get a job, obviously it'll be way better paying. But the hours, you don't have a particular hours, you don't have a particular office space that you stay in.
Of course, yeah.
It's not easy.
It's whenever, wherever. No matter where you live, you'll have to travel. No matter how many number of hours you have to travel to get to that location.
Exactly. So it's not easy. So keep that in mind. Like if you think that job market for networking or architectural marketing is difficult, job market for every field in Australia is difficult.
Yeah. Which is something, once again, do your research. And speaking on that note of all markets being extremely difficult to get into, I want to talk about outsourcing. Yes, we've talked about AI taking our jobs, but especially after COVID, the need and the want and the glorification of labor from other countries has gotten so high. Those 24-hour support lines that we call, a lot of them don't sit in this country. A lot of them sit in another country, like for airlines. If you call Jetstar, Virgin, their 24-hour support systems sit in another country and they pay cheaper labor to them. And for that country, it'll be high labor because you can speak English and you have to work night shifts, but they're getting paid higher. So for them, it's a win-win. And we're getting cheaper labor here and we get people to cover 24 hours. And there's outsourcing in every field. There's tech, there's support, there's helplines, call lines, whatever, like, what's it called? When you ship overseas.
Export, import?
Export, import. Yeah. It's every single job.
As well.
I'd say why, because one of the biggest reasons I feel why Australia outsources is because of the Australian labor laws.
Of course, yes.
That's why there aren't manufacturing companies or units set up, like how in lots of countries like US, India, anywhere, lots of Asian countries, China, these manufacturing units are set up and the labor works there and the products are produced.
And I want to highlight that post-COVID, all car manufacturing has stopped in Australia. I'm not sure about all companies, but most commercial companies import cars. They'll import them from the US, Japan, Germany. And if the car system, like in the US, left hand, in Australia, they'll make it right hand. Like they'll transfer the system over, but there is no making of these things. Everything. And then in the US, the car that I drive, a Lexus NX350, a market value price of that is like, what, 40, 50K, 60K base model? In Australia, it starts at 100K.
What?
Yeah. Like 90 to 100K.
They have to cover the shipping costs. They have to cover the tax costs.
Transfer tax. And why are we paying this? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah. It is good for the people working here in a way, but it is bad because soon people will outsource so much more because the labor is cheap and the labor cost, I think it's $24 per hour, which just increased from 23 to 24, which is great. They're supporting and try to grow. But businesses out here, it is so difficult for them. Like I came across this reel on Instagram where this, he was asking a cafe owner that, how much money do you make? And, the coffee price have gone up. Before I used to buy coffee $4. Now it's like $5 or $5.5. $5.50.
Yeah.
So the cafe owner described, and he said that he makes 50 cents off it. There's operational cost, the labor cost has increased, all the goods cost, even everything that we're buying right now, the cost of goods have increased. Yeah. So they don't make money.
It's hard, yeah.
It is hard.
A few companies are making money that we all know of.
Grocery, just saying. Yeah.
No, but outsourcing in general, I feel like it's very contradictory in Australia because people are like, everything is outsourced. Every company has outsourcing. But at the end of the day, if you're international and you come from one of those countries with like 10 years of experience, they'll be like, no, not fit.
Oh my God, so true.
It's just, and I don't get it. And you know what? I've noticed this a lot in the medical field. Because my mom works in Adelaide and in research fields. People come with so much. Okay, I'm going to talk about India because we're from there and I've lived there. The doctors in India, on average, they like wrap people up like quick. And it's effective. Yeah. They have gone to like the most crowded, every issue they've seen, right? Yeah. And they see so many people and they have so many like solutions to it. But when you come to another country, all of that experience that you could be using is just gone. And also, a lot of people are okay to be underpaid because it's higher than that Indian salary. Even if you're underpaid according to the Australian level, people are still ready to do that. If your job is 100K, people are ready to work at 60K because it's an Australian job and you make a living off of it. But they still don't allow it. It happens at most places. You do get underpaid in our fields, but it's not widespread. Not every company is going to do that, you know, which I feel like is it's a bit like you promote so much global outsourcing. Yeah. It's not when it's...
They're promoting global outsourcing, but when it comes to their own country or working in their own country, they're not very globalized. They're not very diverse that way.
It's like you have to learn the Aussie culture ways and then...
If we are ready to get lower pay, I think they will hire us, but I think we also want like equal pay with everyone.
A lot of people don't even realize this. What I've spoken to people, they don't realize what underpay is. Like,
it's terrible.
It is terrible. Like, they think 60K, as you mentioned, they're like, oh wow, 60K is amazing.
It's a great starting salary.
Yeah.
Like, I want to highlight in the US, okay, I do get an area like New York would be a very expensive area to work and live in. But same as Melbourne, okay? Melbourne is also a very expensive area to live in. Or let's say Sydney. Sydney,
super expensive,
more, right? In Sydney, a starting salary for a graduate is 80 to 90, like a tech graduate is 80 to 90K Australian dollar. In New York, even though Sydney is higher in terms of expenses, in New York, it's 110K USD.
Oh, that's way more.
That is what, 30, 40K, around 30, 40K AUD of a difference.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm like, do you not see the crisis we're in currently?
I feel the country is in crisis because during COVID, they took a lot of debt and they invested heavily in the people. Like they supported the businesses that were not performing well or that was struggling because of COVID. Obviously, lots of businesses did. And also Centrelink where people lost their jobs or people who did not want to work. So they were supporting. Yep. Now the government gave out too much money, which is great. Again, the government was being really nice and supportive. But they didn't calculate for the future.
Which is why I feel the economy is fluctuating so much. And it's putting us back. We can't recover from that. We can't go back.
Yeah.
But anyway, now that we're on the topic of it's really hard to find jobs. I want to talk about, yes, we've spoken about you being so outspoken, connections. LinkedIn is important. Connect. Make your build your communities. Go be outside. There's no other way you're going to get a job. Yeah. You're not just going to apply and get it. You have to be out there. One thing that happens a lot in Australia is fake listings. Right?
Oh yes.
What do you think about that?
That is not cool because
of course
we are finding jobs and then you apply for a job, you never hear from them, and then suddenly you get to know that it was kind of fake listing because they had a person already. They just wanted to show that they have a vacancy.
You want to follow
Kush,
the legal
Kush,
process.
Kush and Nikita, what is fake listing? Like, I've heard of it, but I don't know. What is fake listing?
So if I'm a business and I really like what you do, or we are like partners, or you're my child, whatever. I want to I would create a vacancy and put a ad out. And
Okay. Like supposing marketing manager, you put an ad.
I put a ad about marketing. I need a marketing manager. This is the salary and whatever requirements I need. So that because over here, if you're going to hire someone, you have to put out an advertisement.
So they do it for the legality of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Nikita actually wants to join this company. She applies for this job. I won't ever see her application also because I know whom I need to hire.
Yeah, and who he has in mind already.
Oh, okay.
I'll do some fake interviews as well. I might call Nikita for an interview and
maybe like a phone screening.
And then to show again for the legal purposes. But then I would just hire you.
Why waste all that money in advertising?
It's for the legal purposes, so that
it's a law. Yeah, it helps.
Equality. They're showing that it's equal for everyone. We are not biased towards.
Wow.
Crazy way to avoid it.
So equal, so much parity.
Yeah, I know.
What is it called back in India? Nepotism.
Oh!
Well, it's nepotism everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. It's nepotism even in law firms where you want someone to come in. Happens a lot in tech. Like if you go on LinkedIn, there'll be like 300 plus applications. And the listing will be like from 5 months ago, and no one's getting selected.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. But what is your take on it now that you know?
Fake listings. As I said, it's a waste of money. Like give that money to the person who you're hiring, even though it's nepotism. And I'm not against nepotism. I'm like, it's fine. Their parents worked hard, or their connection worked hard, or they worked hard to build that connection. So I am totally fine with it. But I'm not fine with fake listing. That should not be done. That is raising hopes high. And it shows also what fake listing does is correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. It shows, wow, there's so many jobs in the market. I should go to that country because there are jobs and maybe I can get that job. And maybe, there's so many things. But when they actually go and when they apply and they don't get those, answers back, it is such a false.
It's disheartening.
It is disheartening.
You start questioning yourself even after you've spent so many years.
But I want to say that nepotism is a huge part of it in like bigger firms or like even smaller firms, like law firms, whatever example. But it's not always nepotism. Sometimes even if it's internal company, somebody wants to switch careers, a person in mind.
Yes.
And you do it just for the legality, even though you've spoken to that person, you met them at a careers event, you met them at some uni event, you know who to hire, you do it just for that show.
Yeah.
So it may not be nepotism, but I think it's totally right that the money that you're using there, instead of underpaying somebody that you want to hire, you might as well be like, oh, you know what, I've seen your skills one-on-one.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to hire you, and that's why I should pay you more.
That's why you should build connections anyway.
Yeah.
Be it like fake advertisements or not.
Yeah. But also, when you get underpaid or when someone quotes you underpaid, you don't have to take it up, is what is my say. You can negotiate a higher pay.
100%.
Yeah, you can. You can tell them that is not the industry standards. They'll be like, oh, this is what we can pay. This is our budget. If that is their budget, that means you're not going to have growth out there.
Yep.
You'll barely have any growth. And remember, the first salary that you start with, that becomes your base salary.
Of course.
So if you start with, for example, 50,000, you're going to grow to 60 next year, then 70. But if you started at 70,000, next year's salary 80 and 90.
Yeah.
Just as an example.
And even to like, if you ever want to switch jobs, your career growth, you can't justify going 60 to 100, but you can justify going 70, 80 to 100 because you've had increments over time.
Yes, exactly. So remember, base salary is so important. Do not accept a job just because you're not getting a job. Wait another 2-3 months.
And a lot of the time, because in Australia, jobs are so scarce, a lot of the companies will just offer 66, including super. People will take it.
Oh my
People will be like, I have a job.
Including super is such a scam.
Including super. I know, because I'm like, what
66,
am I?
yes. Oh, am I only getting 50 something?
Yeah, I know. And it sucks. It sucks because, they have to legally pay super and, sometimes, but people are just like, oh, I have a job, I'll take it. And I'm like, but you never know if the company had budgeted 90K You know,
Yeah.
you never know if they secretly had the budget, but to cut down on budget and to say, oh my God, our team is so cost efficient. We have budget to use elsewhere. Like, come on, you compromised your own skill set for that. So I
Yeah.
think that sucks. But like we do say, connections are super important in Australia. It is, everyone knows everyone, at least in my field, everyone knows everyone. And I'm not sure how it is in you guys' fields too, but
Yeah. Build good connections, build your personality accordingly so
Yeah.
that people know you even if they do not know you.
And do you have any advice for a few of our friends who either are trying to switch careers, trying to get a good job? Any advice in general, because you guys have seen the requests that come through personally.
So that's what I got a request where someone was asking me that, hey, is Australia worth it? Australia is worth it because your lifestyle would increase.
Yeah.
But the job market is super difficult. I know people who've been redundant, and right now redundancies are at its super high.
Yeah.
It is super high. People are getting underpaid. You're not getting a job easily. You're not. Education is good, is what I'd say. But rest of the other things is super difficult. So it's not like your lifestyle will increase once you get a job for sure. But also, if you're on a visa, you have limited time.
And limited options.
Limited time, limited options.
Yeah.
So I can't comment if it's worth it. But if you do research, and maybe you come in a niche field, but also do research.
Yeah.
Talk to people. I would suggest people working in your field, go on LinkedIn, just search for the job role. Connect with them and ask them honest feedback. When someone messages me, I give them honest feedback and I tell them, listen, marketing is a shithole right now and it is just going down the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when people go to other places to just for tourism, like for Bali, they will see how much is the ticket for travel. They will check out all the places. Like they will know what to eat as well over there.
Yeah.
But when they're coming to places like Australia to study and spend their whole life over, they won't do that. So please research. Please see how the job market is. As Sara just said, there's so many people there who are looking for jobs. That means there's high competition. See how the economy is growing. Is it on a rise or is it going down? See the interest rates, if it is good enough. So there's so many things that you need to research about.
And a highlight is also to research the city that you're into.
Yes.
Adelaide right now has so many tech jobs, but it's mid to senior level. You can't get there as a beginner. You can't get there as a fresh grad. You know, it's hard to break in.
Yeah.
There's like limited number of spots, high competition. Everybody wants to move to, and even local Australians want to move to a place with less rent to pay. So you have a lot of local competition. How are you going to go against that?
Yeah,
so you have to do
sure.
a lot of contingency planning before flying over.
Yes.
And yeah, feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to reach out to any of your LinkedIn connections. But Australia has a lot of creators, and because a lot of Australian creators are actually smaller, they can get in touch with you. A lot of them have been international students themselves.
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to add that also check which field you're in. Each field is very different. As I mentioned earlier, your base salary, because you're in tech, would be very different than me based in marketing or management field. For example, I know someone who's at a director level in marketing, but he gets paid less than someone who's a senior, not senior analyst or something, but a senior manager at Deloitte is what I'd say. That person gets paid more, whereas a person who's a director of a big firm in an agency gets paid lesser.
Of course.
So your field really matters, and how you get it really matters.
Architecture is on a super low everywhere. So
For even Kush right now, he is looking for jobs because soon he is going to be made redundant.
Okay.
And he has 3 years of work ex in Australia, helping the government of Victoria build the infrastructure of the city of Melbourne. But yet, him finding jobs has been it's a task.
It's a task. Because I did this role, then people asking me, but you do not have architectural experience. But it is, the skills are the same.
Yeah.
I'm actually talking to architects and engineers to do. So you never know how the market would be for you when you're in the field. So when you ask this question, is it worth it? How is the job market? no one kind of knows, but you can research for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is going to be tough always. Like when I also became redundant with my third job, I was like, I have 3 years of work ex, 3.5 years of work ex. Easy, I'm going to find another one. No. Like it's not like local. I don't know what works, but right now it is at an all-time low, and it is really bad.
If you can find jobs in your country, like people are outsourcing things from Australia.
Of course,
So
yeah.
take that, and actually you can kind of quote a bit higher, lower than Australia, but
See,
higher than.
I get it why people come to Australia. There's a whole different reason. Obviously, in their country, they can get that job, but they're coming for the lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
But no, you get paid in Australian dollars in your own country, like what's happening. That's what outsourcing is.
Yeah.
Then you can get to the level.
Maybe, but again, people have different goals. If they want to come here for the lifestyle, for sure, do come here. It is a beautiful lifestyle. 3 of us are living it. We're having a good time. Is what I'd say. Difficult times. We're going through difficult times. All of us. But it is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be this person if I hadn't come to Australia.
Yeah, we love our experiences here. We
Yes.
love our moments here. But yeah, everything has the good and the bad.
Yeah, like
The
if
yin and the yang.
if you're new here, maybe there's new countries to explore. I don't know,
Yeah.
depending on your field. But just think about it when you consider Australia, and when people message me, is it worth it?
Yeah, there's a lot of lifestyle differences too. Maybe that's another podcast, but there's a lot of like, oh, nightlife, oh, this, that. Do all that research before you come here because
Everything shuts at 7.
yeah,
7 is too late, but
7
earlier than
p.m.
that.
we've been through a lot of culture shocks ourselves.
Yeah, we've been through a lot for the years that
Yeah.
we've lived. But yeah, that's it from me.
Anyway,
Do you have any advice for the tech people?
for the tech people, I would say I'm not struggling as bad as other kids. No, but I do have a lot of international students, and it's so hard. I keep touching my microphone. I'm so lucky and privileged to be able to inside tech go in the industry and say, hey, I want to be non-technical. I want to do strategy. I want to do AI. I want to do policy. But as an international student, you don't have the liberty. It's whatever job you get, you get. So if it's just a coding based job, you do it, because as an international student, you don't get the freedom to be like, no, actually, I'll pass on this job and I'll wait for the next one to come through.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So it's hard because you also don't have any support from home as an international student, you know?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? Who are you going to live with? You have rent to pay, you have bills to pay, you have a job to get, you have a visa to work with, 1,000 things.
But also adding to that, we have a friend. He has, I'd say 5-6 years of work ex back in India, in tech, and in big firms, okay, not small ones, like globally renowned. In Australia, I think the person worked at Infosys for the past 3-4 years. That person's struggling to get a job in his field as a DevOps.
He is highly qualified.
Highly qualified, masters with, I'd say 8 years of work ex in 8 years of work ex in total in DevOps, and that person's struggling, and they work with globally renowned names.
I think that's why we say like connections is the best, because
Yeah.
you know, like if your friend had a friend who was the partner of a firm and that partner recognized what the lifestyle working back home is versus what the lifestyle here is, his skills, the amount of people he would have dealt with on a daily basis versus here, surely he would have gotten something that's his worth.
Yeah.
But just like, you know, on that same level, everybody is struggling.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some major differences you can draw. And, you know, I feel like as a tech person, skills do matter at some level. You know, university does matter. You do have to study. And it's very hard. It's very easy to drop out and be like, I'll go into cooking and get my PR. But you just think about your future. You have to do your research, see if you like it. You need to know what you like and don't like.
Yeah.
Imagine doing something, Masters of Networking, like you hated it. Now what? You're stuck in this country. The 2 years that you get, you have to find a job in networking, then get a PR, then think about switching. What is this for?
You can't switch also, you know, when you do come here for a particular degree and you work in that field, you can't switch. Like, even if you hate it, because your visa is based on what you studied, and that all counts for the points and all of it. Oh my God, it's such a
very
task.
big headache.
It is.
And, you know, hats off to all of those friends that we have that have been through it. Like, hats off to you guys. Not you guys in general, but yes, of course. Like, hats off
to us also, please.
No, of course. But hats off to you guys for doing a master's here and, going through all of that. Like, I'm lucky to see your experience.
Oh my God, thanks.
Of course.
But we stayed in our fields.
Yeah.
That is very
Yeah,
true.
I
Stay
was-
true to what you really have a passion for. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, great insight. We've come to the end of it. We've had a great talk. Anyways, are you guys ready for some rapid fire fun?
I am super excited
Yes.
because this time I'm on the other
You
side.
get to answer it.
I know. Oh my God, it sucks. It's so much pressure.
Brunettes is actually good.
Let's not get there again. Oh, we'll.
no.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you guys win, you get a hamper.
Hey.
Humans of Australia hamper powered by Anka Cookies. So thank you guys.
I'm excited to get some Anka cookies.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
flavors,
The
you guys have
brookies.
tried it. The brookies,
Uh,
what was it? My favorite was the orange.
Chocolate.
Orange and Nutella.
Orange chocolate.
Yeah, orange and Nutella. Yeah,
That's what it
that was good.
Love.
Mine was the walnut chocolate chip. Yeah.
Walnut
Guys-
chocolate.
I love both of them. I think there was a peanut butter one as well.
Oh yeah, there was.
That was
yeah,
too good.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
So good. Anyways,
Please stop. This is too much pressure. We're talking about too many things.
Okay, you can't lose. Okay. When you travel, do you pick the window seat or aisle seat?
Window.
Window.
Okay. What is your favorite corporate lunch place in Melbourne?
Lunch place.
Or any lunch place, but like doing work 9 to 5.
Macca's.
Macca's.
Sushi.
Sushi. Okay. Favorite Melbourne spring or summer event that happens?
Mumbai.
Moomba.
Oh my God.
Oh my
What's the
God.
Melbourne summer spring thing? For me, it is all these sporting events. I really like those, like AO.
We have like in Melbourne specifically, we have this sporting period where everything happens within the summer.
Yes.
And then everything dies in the winter.
Why I like Mumbai is a different story though. Like why I like.
Why do you like it? Now I want to know.
I saw Sara first time.
Oh my God.
So cute.
Stop it.
Aww. Good memories associated with it.
Yeah.
Is that why you're getting married in the spring summer of Melbourne?
Oh,
Universal alignment.
Oh my God, yeah.
Anyway, what's
It's
It's fine.
You're gonna lose your audience.
No, shut up. I have already said it.
they
Yeah.
follow the brand? Hey, okay. Go to clothing item.
Go to clothing item. Shirt pants.
Shirt pants,
Oh, Nike tracks
Nike tracks,
and just a
your
crop
HOA
top.
sweatshirt.
Yeah, my HOA sweatshirt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could use all of your annual leave right now to go to one travel location, where would you go?
All the annual leaves. Bali.
Bali. Okay.
I was going to say Bali, but I'll say Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And what is one thing you will own for sure in the next 10 years?
A house.
A house. Okay.
A dog.
A dog. Oh, any breeds that you favor?
A spoodle.
A spoodle. So
A
cute.
black spoodle.
Oh, very specific.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, well, thank you guys so much. I think the winner of this, are you ready for it? I think it's Sara. I think
told you my love story over here.
I thought it was going to be him.
No, but she was like HOA sweatshirt. Like she plugged it in.
Oh. I plugged in Sara.
You plugged
It's
in
like
the
we'll
fan.
share it. We'll share
It
it.
goes to the same house, like you
Yeah,
said.
goes to the same house. Yeah.
Yeah. In future.
I will.
After
Yeah.
10 years.
There you go, Sara. Pass
Thank
through him
you.
anyway.
Thank you so much for the Anka cookies.
No worries, no worries. Okay, well, guys, that's a wrap from us. Let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you. Comment down below. And also what you want to see more and next. We have a lot of things coming up, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.